Jim Rome takes on sports.
Listen, it is not too late to stop this. Do not do this. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. It's damn near perfect. It's beautiful as it is. Stop trying to fix what ain't broke. And stop telling me that the tournament isn't the tournament unless the 15th place team in the SEC gets in. Stop jerking with the best event in all of sports, you pigs.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
We are back for hour number 2, man. It was a quick first hour of the program. A lot of things going on, including the bill that we have been waiting on for some time. It was officially announced this morning that Senators Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell, they have detailed groundbreaking legislation. It's called the Protect College Sports Act, in which we have kind of been going over some of the details of this bill as we're getting access to a lot of the language. Basically, a one-time transfer. If this is passed, you only can transfer one time. 5-year eligibility for a pro player ban, which also means international players cannot come over here if you're a basketball star, and you can't play basketball over here if you do not fit underneath the window of opportunity in that 5-year eligibility rule. There will be a hard salary cap, 5% max on agent fees. They also have something called the Lane Kiffin rule. That Lane Kiffin rule means that you cannot leave your school until the actual season ends, and a school cannot hire you until the official end of the season. So just some of the highlights in regards to what we've been kind of looking through, and your text messages are welcome at 205-834-9450.
Stark Exterminators, family owned for over 62 years. That's who we at the Roberts House trust with all of our needs, and especially during these months, we got the stinging insects. The warmer weather, that means outdoor activities, but hopefully that does not mean bugs, insects, the stinging, the biting kind on your family inside of your home. Well, Stark is here to help. If you are not familiar with Stark, as I mentioned, over 62 years, family owned and operated right here in the Deep South, and they certainly know the folks of Alabama. 855-STARK-NOW. That's the number, 855-STARK-NOW, or go to StarkExterminators.com. When you do, you set up that free pest inspection to your home, your place of business. One of their talented team members, like Alex, will come out to your home like he did ours and address any current issues. Look for any that could come up down the road. Once again, Stark Exterminators. Call today, 855-STARK-NOW, or go to StarkExterminators.com. When you do so, always tell them Landrum from Jock sent you.
Joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline, Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider, MajorWager.com joins us. One half of the NBA Finals have now been set, Brian, as the New York Knicks. I know that's the team that you had penciled in to represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. They have punched their ticket. Now we're waiting on the Thunder or Spurs. I hope the playoffs have been well for you so far.
They've been okay. Last night was good. I had OKC and its team total over. And by the way, we've got look-ahead lines for Game 1 of the Finals. If it's OKC at FanDuel, they are minus 6.5 at a minus 118 price. The Knicks plus 6.5, minus 104 price, and Knicks plus 205 on the money line with a total of 215.5. And if it's the Spurs are minus 4.5 to the Knicks, plus 138 money line for the Knicks in Game 1, and a total of 217.5. And as for the updated futures, OKC is now minus 155 to win it all, Knicks plus 230, and Spurs plus 550. But if you like Knicks, you can do Jalen Brunson plus 300 to win Finals MVP instead of plus 230. Might be a strategy to get paid a little more, because the next shortest odds to win NBA Finals MVP honors for the Knicks is Karl Anthony Towns at 30 to 1. So maybe go Brunson plus 300 instead of Knicks plus 230 if you think the Knicks are going to get done. For the first time since 1973.
So it's hard to imagine. What's the best potential matchup just from a betting standpoint, in your opinion?
I don't know. It depends on if you're bullish on the Knicks. You probably want them to be against OKC because you're going to be getting better money line odds and future odds and catching more points, at least in games 1 and 2 on the road, if you're bullish on the Knicks. And I kind of am right now. By the way, my Hawks don't look so bad now, right?
I asked because I feel like, Brian, a lot of people are bullish on the Knicks.
Right. Yeah. So, if you are bullish on the Knicks, you'd rather it be OKC because you're going to be getting better odds and more points.
Wow. Good stuff from Brian Edwards, MajorWager.com. I know last week, towards the end of our segment, we kind of hit on some college football win totals, and we were talking about the Texas Longhorns last week. I want to go back there momentarily because sure. I've heard some people down in Destin this week. They believe that Texas is going to be 1, 2, or 3 in the preseason polls when all those start coming out in the next couple of weeks. 9.5, if I'm not mistaken, that was the win total for Texas in some places. And if I also remember this correctly, you like the over of 9.5 win totals for Texas.
I sure do. And as I get to their schedule here, so I've got them heavily favored in 5 games. That's at home to Texas State, UTSA, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Florida. I think they go 5-0 there. I've got them smaller favorites at Tennessee in 4 games versus Oklahoma, obviously at the Cotton Bowl. And by the way, we have a line on that. Texas is minus 6.5 games of the year against Oklahoma at FanDuel. The other smaller favorite spots besides versus OU are at Tennessee, at Mizzou, and Ole Miss at home. I've got them going 4-0 in those, although Ole Miss at home will not be easy by any means. So that gets them to 9-0. And then I've got 3 games that are tightly lined at LSU, at A&M, and versus Ohio State. And FanDuel has them where's that Ohio State line? Minus 1.5 to Ohio State, or minus 122 on the money line. And of those tightly lined games at LSU, at A&M, and versus Ohio State, I think they go 2-1. I've got them going 11-1, season win total 9.5. I like it over, and let me get the odds on that as I'm going. FanDuel, it's still actually plus money for them to go over 9.5. It's plus 106.
Brian Edwards joining us here on Three Man Front. All of our guests join us on the Higginbotham hotline as we look towards September 19th. I'm going to call this Bad Blood Bowl 1. Ole Miss hosting the LSU Tigers. You've got an early line on this.
Yeah, FanDuel's got Ole Miss minus 2.5. I like Ole Miss in this game, but I'd rather go minus 130 on the money line just in case they win by 1 or 2. The total is 57.5. I think that that Ole Miss is, about as good as LSU. And let's remember now, Sam Leavitt did not participate in spring practice, still recovering from an injury from last year. I think we've got the edge at the quarterback position with Trinidad Chambliss compared to Leavitt, especially early in the season. I'm assuming Leavitt will be ready in early August, but I just think Chambliss has got more chemistry with his guys. Kejuan Lacey, fantastic running back. Ole Miss returns 10 starters, 5 on both sides of the ball, and I like them in that game. They're at home, better quarterback, all the motivation in the world. And how about this? The next week, if Ole Miss wins, now if Ole Miss loses to LSU, then I may abandon this theory. But what a beautiful spot for the Gators hosting Ole Miss off of that game, where especially if Ole Miss wins that game, and like what did you call it there, Landrum? A bitter
Bad Blood Bowl 1.
Bad blood, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be tough for Ole Miss to get up the next week at the Swamp. And we all know they lost there with a chance to go to the CFP 2 seasons ago with Jackson Dart. So I would like the Gators as a home dog and to pull an upset the following week.
All right, so Conrad's always looking for some games of value for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and let's go to the Georgia game. As you take a look at the early line for that game, is there a play there for you early going between Alabama and Georgia?
So Georgia's minus 2.5 at FanDuel, minus 146 on the money line. Actually, and the 2.5 is that extra juice, minus 122 for Georgia. So if you like Bama, you can get plus 2.5 and have to play no juice. It's even money odds on plus 2.5. Or you could go plus 122 Money line total 49.5. As we all know, they don't play in Tuscaloosa every year, but Georgia has not tasted victory at Bryant-Denny since Stafford threw that touchdown pass in overtime in 2007, Nick Saban's first year. With that said, and I pretty much always bet Bama against Georgia going back a decade and change. I don't know. I got to see Alabama's quarterbacks play in September before I'm going to be recommending Bama here. I usually just say automatic Bama, especially if they're underdogs to Georgia, just because, y'all dominated them so long. But maybe they got that curse off their back a little bit in Atlanta last year. We shall see. No play for me until I see Bama.
You said quarterbacks plural. So you're expecting a 2-quarterback system.
But no. My apologies, Landrum. Whoever they name the starter, until I see that person play.
I was clarifying. I knew what you meant, but our listeners, they know that you get intel that a lot of people don't. So maybe you knew something that had not been reported on this program.
No, you guys would know about Bama before I would, I'm sure.
It's going to be Russell.
Landrum's calling it now on May the 27th.
It's going to be Russell.
He's calling it.
Yep.
Spray paint it on your wall in your den.
Use that when you're
It's
factoring
happening.
in all your futures.
Yes.
But Austin Mack's one to watch.
Hey, a couple other I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, just take a couple others to look for.
A couple other games of the year. I don't really have any plays yet, but Indiana is pick 'em at home to Ohio State. In first Saturday in November, we've got Notre Dame 6.5 at home.
Now, are these at
Miami.
FanDuel, DraftKings? Where are these right now?
These are FanDuel. DraftKings has every week one game except FBS, FCS, but DraftKings has not released their games of the year, but I'm told it will be in the next week or any day now. So I already checked this morning, wasn't there. Also at FanDuel, Ohio State minus 12.5 to Michigan.
What about UAB, Illinois?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Iowa 12.5 at home to Iowa State. Missouri minus 5.5 at Kansas, and then the rest of them are the same week.
All seriousness, Brian, when we get to Ole Miss LSU week, how many different prop bets around that game concerning Lane Kiffin, maybe the crowd, how many times the game is stopped?
Yeah. How many times batteries are thrown on the field or what have you? Hopefully not. Isn't that what Tennessee was throwing at Kiffin like 5
golf
years
balls,
ago?
trash,
Golf
mustard,
balls, trash.
mustard bottles, all kinds of stuff that they were throwing at him. No, I think that's going to be tame if anything comes out of the stands in Oxford compared to what we saw at Neyland.
Remember, the Gators won their first SEC regular season basketball title because
come on, get off of that. What are we doing?
89, they threw tennis balls at Dwayne Shipshus.
Shensis, man.
Oh my gosh.
He had that great mullet.
Mullet.
But he had it tied up top, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was tight.
Yeah.
And Don DeVoe got hired as interim coach and told him to cut it. And he said, nope, I quit. I'm not going to play for, what do you call him, Captain Ahab or something like that? I think that's what he
that
called
was
it.
good times.
Yes.
DeVoe.
Captain
Tennessee
Ahab.
Vols. Man, that is old school right there. All right. Anything else you like this weekend that we need to keep our eye on, or are we just waiting for the NBA finals to become official?
I think OKC is going to close San Antonio out.
Okay.
So I like OKC plus 3.5 tomorrow.
Okay. Very nice. I really wish you would get into baseball.
Yeah.
Braves are playing good, right?
Yeah, we won last night.
Yeah.
We're still on top. Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Rest in peace, Bob Horner. We lost Bob Horner, Ted Turner, and Bobby Cox in, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, that's
Rest
wow.
in peace, gentlemen.
Yeah. Bob Horner, I remember watching the 4-home run game.
I did too. Sunday afternoon against the Expos.
Yep. I was at my uncle's house. I remember where I was. Yeah, he was a great one.
Remember when he came play for the Cardinals towards the end of his career?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that when I was getting a picture of him yesterday when I went to Images and I saw him in a Cardinals uniform. I was like, whoa, I don't recall that.
Yeah, that was one of our big free agent signings back in the day. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lantrum. Pat's a Cardinal rather than a Brave. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a Brave.
I did not realize that Bob Horner, drafted straight out of high school, never played in the minor leagues.
I didn't either until I read it. Yeah, I read that yesterday as well, Landrum. And he was Rookie of the Year. I'd forgotten that. But 78, I was only 4, so.
number one player. Yeah, he was something else. Well, Brian, we appreciate you. We kind of had some breaking news on this Senator Cruz and
thanks for the
bill.
pivot.
So we appreciate your flexibility as we had to audibilize. So we appreciate that.
No problem. I noticed I get a little more airtime in this segment, in this time slot.
When's the last time you played Twister?
What?
Be honest. He said flexibility.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
I've got flexibility, yes.
All right.
As do you guys.
Hey, how's the weather down there? Are you getting
terrible?
Yeah, it's
terrible.
Bad up here
It's
too.
raining for days. I'm losing my tan.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Conrad was down there, he brought the rain after that. He said it was beautiful weather.
He sure did. He did a rain dance on his way over the bridge.
Do you use sunscreen living down there full time, or you just said I'm gonna go with the leather look?
Yeah, I got to use some sunscreen a little bit.
Go for the leather look.
Definitely the nose and the shoulders.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep down that
Man,
skin
this
cancer
combo
there.
is off the
Angel.
rails.
Well, my dad lived where I think Santa Rosa. He lived there for probably 15 years, and I remember asking him like, "Are you gonna put anything on, or are you just going for the leather look?" He's like, "Well,
yeah, you got to put a little something on."
Yeah, put a little something on.
Hey, what grocery store do you shop at down there?
Publix.
Is it the one that was that close to you, Conrad?
Yeah, is it the one kind of by the hospital, Brian?
Yeah, by Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that Publix?
I mean,
well, there's
that's
another
the
one on
one
down
closest.
towards 30A.
Oh no, I do the one by the
yeah.
hospital.
I've got one only like a mile and a half for me.
Brian's
closer
closer to 30A. You know what I'm saying, Conrad?
I know.
You can't hide the money.
No, I know. He's bougie.
Yeah.
Those beach Publix though, they got everything.
Oh yeah.
You can buy everything.
They do. We got a good Publix here.
Now the one right up by Sacred Heart, that's where Emerald shops all the time. I've run into Emerald countless times.
I think he still has a restaurant. Does he still have that restaurant in Grand Boulevard?
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Nice guy. Yeah. Very nice guy. Seriously. Top of the line.
Yeah, I met him once, briefly.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's obviously got a big old spread down there, but he shops at that Publix right there by Sacred Heart.
Hey, can I get this time slot during football season? Because we have all kind of time. I thought we were winding this combo down 5 minutes ago.
Hey, we'll see what we do. We'll get with your people.
What's the rest of your day look like?
Yeah. What's for lunch?
Oh, I've got to do a Southeastern 16 season win total recording on Alabama and Missouri, and that's coming up in about 13 minutes.
13 minutes. We'll give Blake and all the guys over there. They do a great job. We're big fans of Southeastern 16. They do a good job.
Yeah, tell them hello.
I'll let them know the three-man front said what's up.
Sounds good. Brian, have a great weekend. Always appreciate having an opportunity to catch up with you and stay
go
parasailing. Yeah. Don't want you to get
I'll stay out
injured.
of the rain.
Yeah, please do. Thanks, Brian.
All right, fellas.
See you.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a great week.
You too. Brian Edwards.
Why do you? Why do you like box him in like that all the time at 10:45? Why don't you give him some more time? He obviously is.
This is the first time that he is even suggested that he's ready to leave the nest. Thought he was very comfortable in his little nook.
I mean, Conrad, why is he on a 10:45? Why is he not?
He always struck me as the guy that liked to be painted in the corner.
Landry just gets kind of tired and whiny after about 10 minutes with Brian, and then we have to put up with it for the rest of the show. So we typically try to.
It's when he brings out that stupid Florida Gator stuff.
You and me both on that.
I try to look past it. It's like, golly, why are we still
talking
about Florida, Brian?
He's got to get that basketball Florida stuff in. Hey, just think of this. When I met Brian, it was in Spurrier's heyday.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you think it's bad now with the Florida basketball. Back when I met Brian and, struck up our friendship, it was during Spurrier's heyday.
That was I can only imagine when you had Janie Werfel on the scene and you got Jack Jackson and all those guys that nobody could defend.
Yeah.
Just drawing up plays, throwing it at will. Guys just run under them. Touchdown.
Being in an SEC championship game and knowing exactly what they were going to run, and Gene Stallings could not come up with a defense to stop it.
No, he wasn't.
After 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty successful.
All right, we need a break. When we come back, we will tell you all we know about this Senate bill that is being introduced. I'm already getting some text messages. Seems like the SEC folks not too happy with what they're seeing. We'll get into that next on 3 Man Front.
The Hammer Alley Podcast, an 80s flashback mockumentary.
Modestly speaking, in 1987, we knew Hammer Alley was better than Def Leppard, White Lion, Glass Tiger, John Cougar, and other artists named after Wildcats.
How did they go from top of the rock to rock bottom?
That band that won Battle of the Bands, Hammer Alley, is as current as a bowling alley.
Have you been in one of those lately?
Hammer Alley.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The Hammer Alley Podcast, an 80s flashback mockumentary.
Back in the 80s, there were 1,000 bands trying to make it in the world of rock, but there was one band that had it all, Hammer Alley.
Whatever happened to Hammer Alley?
How did they go from top of the rock?
I'm looking for a music video. They're a band from 1987, Hammer Alley. Ever heard of them?
To rock bottom.
Dude, I was born in 1987.
I can't believe he's doing this.
Hammer Alley.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.